Marcus Chen had always been the odd one out in his family. While his cousins pursued respectable careers in law and medicine, he'd chosen the grease-stained path of a starship mechanic. His mother often lamented that he'd inherited his peculiar tendencies from his grandfather, a man Marcus had never met, who'd mysteriously vanished when Marcus was 5. The inheritance notice arrived on a Tuesday, delivered by a Zephyrian courier whose tentacles trembled as he handed over the quantum-sealed documents. Marcus nearly dropped his plasma wrench when he read the contents. He was now the sole owner of Lunar Station Kappa 7, a private research facility on the moon's far side. "There has to be a mistake," Marcus muttered, but the genetic authentication was unmistakable. Somehow his grandfather Aldrich Voss, a name that had always seemed too exotic for their humble Earth family, had been alive until 3 weeks ago, and very, very wealthy. The journey to the lunar base took 2 days aboard, a commercial transport. Marcus spent the time researching his inheritance, but found frustratingly little information. Kappa 7 was listed as a private xenobiological research facility, which explained nothing and everything at once. The base itself was a marvel of engineering, its biometallic domes seamlessly integrated into the lunar regolith. As Marcus's shuttle docked, he noticed the structure seemed almost organic, pulsing gently in the Earthlight. The airlock welcomed him with a soft chime and his grandfather's recorded voice. "Marcus, my boy, if you're hearing this, then the dreaming has finally claimed me. I have much to explain and precious little time to do it. Please, come to the central laboratory immediately, and don't be alarmed by what you see." The corridor walls glowed, with bioluminescent veins that responded to Marcus's presence, brightening as he passed. He'd worked on dozens of alien tech ships, but this was something else entirely. Technology so advanced it bordered on biological. The central laboratory was a cathedral of crystalline structures and floating holographic displays. In the center, suspended in a column of shimmering energy, was his grandfather. Or rather, what had been his grandfather. The being in the stasis field was tall, elegant, with skin that shifted between deep blue and silver. 4 arms moved in graceful patterns, tending to complex calculations that danced in the air around him. When he noticed Marcus, his large, multifaceted eyes lit up with unmistakable joy. "Ah, you've arrived," Aldrich said, his voice carrying harmonics no human throat could produce. "I suppose I owe you an explanation." Marcus stumbled backward, his mind reeling. You're alive, and you're Zephyrian, yes. Well, mostly, it's complicated." Aldrich gestured, and the stasis field dissolved. He stepped down gracefully, his movements fluid despite his obvious age. "I fell in love with your grandmother 67 years ago. Humans and Zephyrians aren't naturally compatible, but love finds a way." "This is impossible," Marcus whispered. "Is it? You've always been different, haven't you? Able to understand alien technology intuitively, to fix things that should be beyond human comprehension. Your hybrid genetics are finally manifesting." As if on cue, Marcus felt a strange tingling in his arms. Looking down, he watched in amazement as his skin began to shimmer with the same blue-silver sheen as his grandfather's. A 3rd arm began to emerge from his shoulder, the process surprisingly painless. "The dreaming calls to all Zephyrians eventually," Aldrich explained. "A state of collective consciousness where we transcend individual existence. I've been fighting it for decades, staying awake for your grandmother, for your mother, for you. But I'm tired, grandson. It's time." Marcus watched, his new arm flex experimentally. It felt natural, as if it had always been part of him. "Why me? Why not Mom?" "The gene skips generations sometimes. Your mother is fully human, but you're the bridge between worlds." Aldrich moved to a control panel, his four arms dancing, across holographic interfaces. This base isn't just a research facility. It's a sanctuary, a place where beings like us can exist between human and alien society. There are others, hybrids, outcasts, those who don't fit into neat categories. A view screen activated, showing other sections of the base. Marcus saw dozens of beings, humans with cybernetic enhancements, aliens who'd chosen to adopt human, customs, and others like himself, caught between two worlds. They need guidance, Aldrich continued. Someone who understands both the human drive to fix things and the Zephyrian gift for seeing connections others miss. You're uniquely qualified. Marcus felt the weight of responsibility settling on his shoulders. All three of them now. What if I'm not ready? No one ever is. Aldrich smiled, the expression strange but warm on his alien features. But you're already doing what needs to be done. You see a broken thing, and your first instinct is to fix it. This place, these people, we're all a little broken. We need someone who can see the potential in discarded parts. As his grandfather spoke, Marcus felt his perception shifting. He could see the base's systems now as interconnected patterns of energy and intention. He understood how the biometallic walls responded to emotion, how the bioluminescent guides reacted to the inhabitants' needs. It was like seeing a vast machine for the first time, one designed not just for function, but for healing. The dreaming is calling stronger now, Aldrich said, his form beginning to fade around the edges. But before I go, let me teach you the most important thing. Humanity's greatest strength isn't its technology or its stubbornness. It's the ability to take broken things and make them better than they were before. The old Zephyrian, Marcus's grandfather, began to dissolve into motes of light that swirled toward the ceiling, following patterns that seemed to lead beyond the base itself. Take care of them, his voice echoed, growing distant. Take care of yourself. And remember, every great mechanic knows that sometimes the most important repair is the one that brings different parts together into something new. Marcus stood, alone in the laboratory, his three arms already moving instinctively to adjust the base's systems. Through the view screen, he could see his new family, outcasts and hybrids and dreamers, waiting for guidance. He rolled up his sleeves, all of them, and got to work. After all, he'd always been good at fixing things.